Welcome, devs, to your favorite channel, Ivy Mesa. This is the channel where you learn how to grow from a beginner front-end developer to becoming a pro web developer. Today I'll be doing another challenge from Frontend Mentor. It's called the newsletter sign-up form with success manager. There it is. There you can expect our challenge expects us to have an output that looks like this. So you just type in your email address and you'll be signed up to Frontend Mentor Solutions. But there you can see this is the error state that you every time if you enter an invalid email you get a valid email required, so that in the format of the email will be there. Then once you subscribe to the correct email you get a thank you message. So this is the mobile view of our solution. There you can see. So without wasting your time, let's get on to the challenge. Make sure that you download the starter pack, just like I've already done. Okay, this is the coding that we have here. So first of all, I'm going to start off by creating a main div that will wrap up everything. Let's save a main. Then below the main, I'm going to create another div that will also wrap up everything. Then let's create a section. I need to give it a class name. I'll call the section class name. I'll call it information. Let me call it information. Okay, this is class name that I've created, and then the first div will be for the image. So I need the div which I shall call image. Then I'll just paste the link for the image. Then I need an image here, so I'll paste the link for the image that we're gonna have. Then after the image, I'm going to create a div for which I shall call div. Okay, let me put in some spacing so that my code looks nice. Then let me create, I can also collapse this side menu, yeah, so that everyone can see what's going on. An article which shall have a class name info underscore product. Then what we're gonna have, okay, yeah, now that's when I need to have this one by our side. Okay, then let me collapse it. Yeah, so you can see we're going to have h1 tag for stay updated, h1 tags. Then I'm going to collect this information. That's the beauty of Frontend Mentor. They just allow you to paste. Then let's save a paragraph. Okay, this one, this is the text that will go inside the paragraph text. Okay, you can just create. Then after that one, we're going to have a paragraph for p tags. Okay, then let's add also this information. Then I'm also going to add an paragraph text for information, one other image. Then we got an image. If you look by the design, we got this icon image, like this icon listing. So I need to have them. They're like three of those ones. So I'm just going to paste the code for the images to shorten up okay, so I'm going to paste the image. Then let me duplicate this one, since we're going to have three copies, second copy, third copy. Now let's put the content that is going to go there inside. Okay, I need the text that is going to go there. It's not there here, so I'm going to you have to look for the image. As you can see, there are some content there. Okay, let's have this text. This is text that we're going to have inside. So I'm just going to place it where it should go. Then this is for the second one. We place it there. Then the last one, this one, you also place it here. So that does it for our section for the landing page. So the landing page, if I can just click on live, I want to view the, there you can see we got the image and the text. So I'm now going to work on the error success states. You can see that I've got the success, error state, and success state, like the success state. So let's add the HTML coding. Okay, outside the section, start off by creating another new section. Let's call it section. I need to give it a class name. I'll call it content underscore field. Okay, field. Then we have to use a strong for the text. Then this is what we are going to use: get the email address. Then let's have a paragraph tag with ID of error underscore message. Then I'll use some inputs for our entering the email address. Then this one is going to be input. Then for the input, we are going to type is an email. This will validate our email address. Then let's give it, okay, let's put name, leave it empty for now. Let's have an ID. We'll give it email. Then placeholder. I need some text that will appear as placeholder. I'll call it email. It's company. .com. Okay, after doing that, we can just use some breaks to separate the text. So I'm going to use BR to create some spacing. BR to create some spacing. Then we now need the button. As you can see from the design, we now want the button that is there. So for the button, I'm going to create inside the same section, just below the breakings, where we have created some space. Let's create a button. I need to give it type submit. Then that is where we are also, and then remember, we're going to perform an operation on click the button. So I'll need an on click valid form. So now let's now let's have the text that will go inside the buttons. We need this one. Okay, this text that we have got, we have already used it for placeholder text. So that's it for the, now we are going to create a second page. Like you can see, the challenge requires us not to remember that we have got a success page. So I'm just going to create the text for the success page. HTML, inside the HTML, outside the closing section, let's create another section which we shall call success. Then let's have it then let me put an ID of success underscore message. Then we're gonna have a first div which we shall call success content. Then let's put in an image for the success content. So I'm going to have an image for the success content. Then I need some h2 text for the thank you for subscribing text. Just come here and paste it there. We are going to have paragraph content component to place inside the content. Then this is the text that will go inside the content. Then okay, so I, like you can see from the text I've written, a confirmation will require you to send an email to your email address. So I just need to place it inside this text. I need to place it inside a strong content so that it chooses your email address that you have used, not strike, it's strong. Selected email must be pasted, so I'm going to have strikes keeps coming, I don't know why. Strong, yeah, like this one. Then so I need an ID for which shall be your email placeholder. So that I don't have this default email placeholder. So now we can now know that this email is no longer required, like this. Then let's now add a outside the paragraph text. We now need to add a button which shall be for dismiss message. So I'm going to say button. Okay, href to index.html. So this will reload the page index. This will direct us back to the image. On click will redirect us to the page, to the home page. And also I need this text to be displayed inside. So this is it for our CSS HTML coding. Let me come and look at how the solution now looks like. Okay, you can see that this is the index HTML file. Okay, this is what we now have for our index. Now it's the time to go and style the solution. I need to go inside my CSS. Okay, first of all, I'm going to create a file which I shall call main CSS to link up to our HTML. Since we're gonna be having it inside the same folder, I'm going to call it link. Then we are going to call it main.css. So now it's the time to code. Okay, I'm now going to start off by styling the body. I need to set the background color to purple of the whole body. Then let's have the color black. Let me look at the changes. There you can see the changes. Next, after styling done, I'm going to style the div. The first div, I'm going to give it an accurate background, margin auto, maximum width 900 pixels, maximum height 700 pixels, border radius 40 pixels, padding 80, 0, to the bottom left 18 pixels, bottom to the left side 100 pixels. Then let's close this one. I'm going to set off now. Let me look at inside the there you can see the changes that we have after styling our div. Then now let's style the image. I'm going to give it a maximum width of 100 pixels. I'm going to give it a maximum height of 250 pixels, border radius 15 pixels, width 100%, background size cover, then background position to the center. Let's close this one and let's have a look at how our solution now looks like. They can see after making alterations to the image. Now I'm going to start the information section. I'm going to give it a font size of 1 EM. They can see the font size has reduced everything. They can see the changes that are happening out to our solution. Now I'm not going to start the H1 text inside the information div, so by giving them a font size of 1 EM, then I'm not going to style this. Let's take a look at our design. We are now going to style the content field, this class name. Content field input, targeting border radius 10 pixels, height 50 pixels, width 350 pixels, border color black, border style hidden, font size 20 pixels, then background color beige. Let's take a look at. There you can see our changes are happening. Now let's start the pattern inside the content field. I'm going to give it a background color of purple. Content for the content of the text white color, then text decoration none, border style dotted, border radius 10 pixels, width 350 pixels, height 50 pixels, border style none, font size 20 pixels, cursor pointer. Then let's have a look at what happens to our button after we have styled. There you can see the button has changed shape. There's the button with the cursor. Then I want to put a hover effect on the button to color white, then background color purple, font size 20 pixels, cursor pointer. These are the changes that will happen when hovering. Now let's style the paragraph tags. I'm just going to set the margin to the left of 210 pixels. Then let's come and have a look at the changes. There you can see on the hover effect and the margin to the left that is being pushed. Now let's continue styling. I'm now going to go inside the success class section. Let's go inside the success section. I'm going to set it by default to display none, then position fixed in the top 50%. By default, I mean it like on by default I set to none, then left 50%, transform, translate minus 50%, background color, then border radius 10 pixels, padding 20 pixels, text align center. Then let's style the content section, this one. Let's set the width to 300 pixels, then height 300 pixels, display flexi direction column, then justify content center, align items to the center. For the section height too, I'm going to give it font size of 24 pixels. Then let's, for the font size paragraph text, I'm going to set font size 18 pixels, margin bottom 10 pixels. Then we are going to target this pattern inside the success div. So then I'm going to give it a background color of purple, then color white, text decoration none, border style dotted, border radius 10 pixels, width 250 pixels, height 40 pixels, then border style none, font size 20 pixels, cursor pointer. Then I want a hover effect on the same button. Let's have a different color of purple. Then color white, text decoration none, border style dotted, border radius 10 pixels, width 250 pixels, height 40 pixels, border style none, font size 20 pixels, then cursor pointer. That does it for our styling inside our CSS folder. Okay, after successfully styling this solution, now I'm going to have to perform some JavaScript so that there's an error, there's an correct success. Thank you for subscribing message that appears. So for me to do that, I need to come inside our file and create a link up to a script file. Then src, this is called the script.js. So let's come inside the same folder, create a new file which we shall call script.js file. So this is the file that will be linked up to JavaScript. As you can see inside our file, we have got everything will be collected after on clicking this button that we have got. This button, on clicking this input and this button submit, or that's when it will call upon this function code valid form. So this is the valid form function that will be used. So now go to inside our file, our script.js file. I'm creating a function. I'm calling on a function called valid form that we have gotten that we have used here on click valid form. So I'm calling on this function to, let's declare a variable called is valid to true. Then let's collect an email address by ID input value const. I'm declaring a const code email input, which will contain the document get element by ID inside our success. It will call upon this email input, this that is there. So if the value is identical to empty, it will trigger an error message input that will be displayed, and the inner HTML text, inner HTML inside this paragraph text that we have got here will be set to valid email required. Then the style of the email input will be displayed as block. Then the border of the email input will be set to 1 pixel radius. EST value will be set. Else if you enter the details, that is if the email input value is not equal to empty, then display will be set to none, and the border radius of the email input, the border radius here of this one email input will be set to 1 pixel solid. If const email place get element by d is equals to get element by d email placeholder, we're calling upon this email placeholder, this one email placeholder. That's the one that we have required here. We have declared a new const called email placeholder that is going to call upon this email placeholder. If the text content inside the email placeholder is equals to valid get element by is, then it will trigger it will trigger this success message ID. This one will be displayed. This whole column, this whole section will be displayed. So after styling this one, we can now go inside our file and check the performance. Okay, so let's say this is our dummy email address on click. is displaced. So this is it, just I've completed this challenge. If you got more questions on how to become a better web developer and how to complete this challenge, please let me know in the comment section. So thank you for watching.